Hey guys, and welcome back today for a brand new video. We're going to be doing a tag video. I love doing these. First off, I just love chatting, and I feel like a lot of times I focus so much on reviews on my channel, and I love doing these to like kind of spice it up a little bit and have some of these chatty discussions. Today's video is going to be about content creation. It's going to be the creator tag. I saw my friend Heather Austin do this video, and I loved her answers, and I loved watching this video of hers, so I was like, let me try it. So this was created by two other YouTubers, Kate the Great and also Better Off Red. So thank you guys so much for creating this tag. I'm gonna go ahead and link both their channels down below as well as Heather's channel, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so there are 17 different questions a part of this tag, so it's kind of a large one. So get a little popcorn, get a little snack. We're gonna get a little juicy, a little spicy with this one. First up is, how do you feel about the term influencer, and do you feel you are one? So I would say yes, I do feel that I am, I guess, an influencer, but that word is not what I really love when it comes to my job or like what I call myself. So I more say that I'm like a content creator, because that is the side that I enjoy the most, is creating the actual content for you guys to consume. I love filming and I love editing and everything that comes to play with that. But I do understand also that with this job, I do have a influence over my audience, and I don't necessarily think that needs to be a negative thing. I think a lot of times the term like influencer has a negative idea around it, I guess, and I just don't think that it needs to be that. I do think you can influence people without influencing them negatively. I think you can influence positivity. I feel like I hear that a lot with people, that they watch my videos and they feel, more uplifted from watching them, and I do think that there's other ways you guys can influence people other than just like having them buy stuff. So I do think I am an influencer. Do I love the word just because of everything that's connected to it? Not necessarily, but I do obviously consider myself one. Question number 2 is, how did you decide to become a content creator? So there's that word I like, content creator, because I do feel like that is more of what my job is definitely creating the content for you guys. So actually how I started my channel is, I've shared this story a bunch of times, but I actually started an Instagram account, and I found on Instagram Anastasia Beverly Hills and a few other makeup accounts, and I started like looking at them and I'm like, brows, like I want to try brows. And I had actually I went to a Sephora with a friend, and I had gotten the Urban Decay Naked palette, and that was my first time getting like a high-end eyeshadow palette. And I'd always kind of been like into makeup and playing with it and stuff, but I definitely was never like as interested as I was when I started consuming like YouTube and stuff. So when I got the Naked palette, I'd actually like Googled tutorials with it, and that's how I found YouTube. I actually stumbled across Luster Lux, which is now Katie's YouTube channel, and I'd seen she did like a tutorial with it, and that then led me to like Desi and to Jaclyn Hill and other creators, and I just started consuming it, and I was like, I kind of want to do this too. And I had thought Makeup Molly would have been a good name, and at the time, with like Instagram being as like small as it was, not small, but a little small beauty community that is, I went ahead and like got that name, and I like waited months. I did like the username, but I waited months before I started my account. Then I finally just got the courage to do it, and I started, and I've never looked back. I have enjoyed every second of it, and it's just like the best job. I'm so happy that I get to do this for my job. Number 3 is, what's your experience with knowing other creators in life, good or bad? So I have had, I would say, 99.9% positive experiences with everyone that I've gotten to meet. I have had a few encounters that weren't like my favorites, and not necessarily anybody being like kind of rude to me, but just more just like kind of a little bit standoffish, if you know what I mean. But there's no one in particular that I can like think of, just people that you kind of get the vibe like they don't really want to be talking to you. I've definitely got that vibe from people, but I would say everyone that I've gotten to meet in person has been way exceeded my expectations. A lot of the creators that I've met are very, very true to who they are when you see them on screen, and that's what I look for in my friendships with people, is people that are just genuine and that you can tell are the same as they are on screen as they are off. And I've gotten to meet a lot of my friends here on YouTube and in the beauty community, and it's been amazing having those people, my friends, in real life too. And I talk to them honestly more than some of my like actual friends that I've had for years, because I do feel like we have a lot in common when it comes to our job and our love for makeup, and it's just became a great spot really for me to have friends, is the online community. Number 4 is, do you accept sponsorships, and how do you feel about them? I do accept sponsorships, and I don't really see much wrong with accepting sponsorships. I don't know really where the like stigma around them came from. I would say it kind of goes back to like that influence aspect of our job, just that people are a little bit nervous when I feel like people do sponsorships because they don't know if they are being genuine. But I feel like if you have that question, if someone is being genuine or not, maybe you shouldn't be watching their content anymore. Because I do feel like my friends and the people that I watch, when they get a sponsorship, I'm like over here cheering for them in the corner because I know that they wouldn't accept any sponsorship that wasn't, you know, something that they loved. So I do think with everyone that I watch, at least, I am always happy when they get to do a sponsorship. I would hope that you guys would also feel the same for me, because that is a way that I can provide income with this job, and it's a great way for me to get connections with brands and things, is when I do those sponsorships. So I'm always appreciative when I do get those opportunities, and I definitely do take them up. That being said, I get a lot that I do not accept. I'm very picky with the ones that I do, but I've been lucky enough to work with some really incredible brands. Number 5 is, have you had a bad experience with a brand and the one that's left a bad taste in your mouth? Yes, I definitely have had those experiences that have been less than pleasant. With some larger brands, I feel like I don't necessarily want to be like calling any brands out, but I will say there's been like more so for me, I've had more issues with like agency side of things. So sometimes, if you don't know, like when you do a sponsorship, you don't always necessarily work directly with the brand. Sometimes you are working with a third party. So a lot of times, like for example, if I was working with like Urban Decay or something, I may be working with Urban Decay, but I'm actually working with an agency who is then representing Urban Decay, or you know what I mean? They're kind of like a middleman. So I've had more bad experiences, if you will, with like the companies, not necessarily the brands, and that kind of bums me out because I really don't know how much the brand like is aware of what's happening, and that's the part that's kind of frustrating, is that the brands, you know, do they know like what's going on in between? I just feel like sometimes companies can just, it can be a little messy. So not necessarily anything like huge that I can think of with a big brand. I've had a few like sour things that have happened where I'm like, I don't think I like that anymore, and I definitely have, you know, shared my words, but I can't, nothing that's like crazy with a brand. But definitely like a few instances where I haven't had the best experience with like the middleman there. Number 6 is, how do you deal with negative comments? I can say that where I'm at now in my career is the ones that bother me the most are the ones that are kind of attacking more me as a person. The ones that I feel like I can just like, whatever, are the ones that are like, you know, your eyebrows suck, or your foundation doesn't match, or something like that. It's like, it's not really, you know, worth it for me to respond to something like that. And I really just don't even care, to be honest, to look at it at all. But the ones that kind of get me are sometimes when people like question my integrity, or like me as a person, as a mom, things like that. That's kind of what I get a little bit like defensive over, and I can just get, you know, a little bit worked up on comments like that. But for the most part, I don't really receive a ton of them. If I do get hate, like I said, it's more that people are mad at the way I'm blending my sponge. So those ones I can just like ignore. A lot of times too, like best advice is, if you like have like a viral TikTok or like an Instagram like that goes off or whatever, I would just recommend not going back to the comment section. Once you, this hair is like stuck in my mouth. You get past the point of it not really being your audience base in the comment section, it can just become like a feeding field for like negativity. So I obviously will go back and look at the comments sometimes, but a lot of times if I see a video like blowing up and I'm seeing a lot of comments come through on it, I kind of just like let it go, because I know that the people that are coming to that video are not coming on it to be friendly, and I just don't have time to like look at all that negativity. So I honestly just like forget it. I just don't even go on it. But that's a lot more like on TikTok and stuff. I don't really see that happening a bunch on like YouTube as much. And then number 7 is, what's your biggest pet peeve when it comes to comments? And that one, I think, I'm trying to think exactly like what my biggest pet peeve is, but probably I would say like when people ask me a question that if they watch the video, they would know the answer to. That kind of does really annoy me, and it happens a lot to where someone will be like, oh, what shade in the foundation did you use? And I clearly in the video like said, I use this shade of foundation. Now, that's not always the case. There could have been a different, like, you know, mix up or something. And of course, I'll answer the person if that's the case. But a lot of times it's like they'll ask me a price on something, or like where they can buy it or something like that. It's like, if you watch the video, I said that in the video. So that kind of sometimes can annoy me, because I feel like maybe they just didn't pay enough attention or something. But if you check the description box of most of my videos, I have that information in there. So that's something that can kind of annoy me. But really, aside from that, I feel like there's not a ton, other than like, of course, the negative comments are just kind of annoying. And then number 8 is, what is my favorite part about being a content creator? And honestly, that is just like sharing my love for makeup, and also on my vlog channel, just sharing my excitement and willingness to be like authentic and real. I just love connecting with other people as well, and I get a lot of joy out of seeing others get joy from my content. And that's kind of the reason that I have done it as long as I have, is just because I really do love getting that connection with you guys, talking to you in the DMs, and also just the friendships I've made with being a content creator has been really amazing as well. And then now being a mom too, just being able to be in charge of my own schedule, not having necessarily a boss. I do feel like I still have to deal with, people as in the boss, kind of like people in like the boss position, but not necessarily a boss directly, and just not having to answer to anyone besides myself a lot of times has just been really something that I've really enjoyed, and something that I love about this job is that it is able to be flexible and I am able to be my own boss. Sometimes that can be a little bit difficult. I feel like you have to have a lot of self-discipline with this job, but when it comes to the like parts that I love about it, that is one of the main reasons, is that I love that I can be my own boss and I am able to, like I said, connect with so many of you guys. And then number 9 is, what is your least favorite part of being a content creator? And that kind of goes hand in hand with the last one, more that I am also my own boss and I can put a lot on my plate at one time. I want to do so many things, and sometimes I just need to like step back and be like, I can't do everything. And I think that's a hard lesson to learn, and also a hard thing to do when you're in this space. There's always something to do. There's always a video to film. There's always stuff to edit. There's always DMs to answer. Like, you really can never be fully caught up. And that's something that I don't love about this job. As I just mentioned, like, I love that it, I don't have to go to like a 9 to 5, but also sometimes I am a little bit envious of people that go to work and they come home and they're done with work. Like, they don't have to worry about it until the next day, or they have the weekend off. They don't even think about work. Like, it's not even on their like thought process. With me, it's like I can never turn that off truly. Like, I have to be, working and in work mode a lot of times every single day. Of course, I can have breaks and take breaks and, be off my phone and all these things. But at the end of the day, like, I do have to still stay active. It's not like really like I can just like disappear for the weekend. So that is something that I have learned, tried more to also manage a little bit better, but it does get really hard. Number 10 is, do you edit your own content? And if so, do you enjoy it? Yes, I do edit all of my own videos. I had my little sister helping me for a while edit some of my videos, and I liked having her help, but I still went in there and like did my editing too, because I love doing the editing process. I will say I enjoy like editing my like Instagram videos a little bit more than I do like YouTube, just because I don't really necessarily love hearing myself talk over and over and over again. With YouTube, it's a lot of like, cutting, the ums out and listening to yourself go on, and you're like, why did I talk so much and stuff like that. So with YouTube, it's a little bit more tedious, but with Instagram, it's kind of more fun because I can like add in little things and then like my little smiles and all the things. So it's a little bit more fun, I feel like, to edit Instagram content, but I still do enjoy editing. It's just YouTube isn't my favorite to edit. And number 11 is, where do you draw the line in regard to sharing on social media? So this one's tough, especially now that I have kids. I kind of always thought that I would be one of those people that was going to be like so open and share every single thing, because I do find a lot of help in that when people are so authentic and so genuine. I know that's helped me through a lot in my life. And I still want to be that person. I definitely still want to share, but I do think I'm a little bit more guarded now with what I share. I do still share a lot. I think I share a lot compared to a lot of people that I know, but I also feel like part of the reason I have created this platform, and part of the reason I feel I'm given this platform, is to share my knowledge with you guys, not just beauty knowledge. There's a lot more to me than just makeup. And I especially share a lot like over my vlog channel and on my stories and stuff. And I never want you guys to think that everything is just like rainbows and clouds and beautiful. It's definitely not. There's a lot of like real raw things that happen. And I always want to share that, whether that be in vlogs or, like I said, on stories, just kind of sharing real life. I do think that's very important, and especially important in a space where all we see a lot of times is, just the highlights of people's lives. I want to make sure that I'm also sharing the not so great things that happen, and, the darker side to social media, things like that. And then number 12 is, name one thing you wish you knew when you started out. This is something I think about often. I wish I knew that you get what you put out, if that makes sense. So in the beginning, I was like, I'm not really growing any, I'm not really doing this, but it's like I was making, one video a week. Like, that's not really how you grow. So I wish I would have just figured out sooner that you get what you put out in this job. Like, you very much can grow if you want to. You can very much get brand opportunities if you want to. Like, there's a lot of, you are, again, back to that, like, you're your own boss, but you are the one controlling your your failure, if that makes sense. So a lot of times it's the fact of just like getting up and doing it and knowing what you need to do to succeed to those goals and trying to push yourself to do that. I struggle with that a lot, of like knowing what I need to do to, you know, succeed, and not always being able to do what I need to do, if that makes sense. But that's something I wish I would have known sooner, is that I was in control of that the whole time. Because I would say, like, back when, like before I had kids, for example, I think about this a lot, is I thought I was like so busy. I was like, I'm so busy, like I'm so busy, I have so much to do, but like I was sleeping until 11 o'clock every day. Like when I think about it, I'm like, you were not, like, you were very busy, you did a lot, I did a lot, but I was also like working from like 11, like I said, to like 5, and then I would like take a while, and then I would work again at like 9. It's like, had I just like worked from like, you know, like 7 to 5, I would have gotten so much more done, and I would have been like so much more productive. And I just feel like you don't know that until you don't have that, right? So now with kids, it's like I can get so much done in 2 hours. Like even now I've already filmed like 3 videos in like 2 hours, and I would have never done that before. I would have like just filmed like a video a day and been done. Now it's like I just know what I need to do in order to, you know, get the content that I want out there. So I just wish I would have known, like, that time is on your favor when you have it. And again, you are what you are putting out. Is there any change you'd like to make to your content in the future? And not really. I feel like I'm pretty much doing what I want to be doing on this channel. I definitely want to keep it more beauty focused, but I do also want to kind of sprinkle in some other aspects of my life, because I do feel like this is just a very much like makeup focused. But over on my vlog channel, I'm very happy with what I'm doing over there. I feel like I am sharing what I want to be sharing, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at with my content. If anything, I just wish that I had like more time to do more. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. And then number 14 is, what company / collab is your dream? So I'm kind of thinking about this one. I'm like, what would be my dream collab? I honestly would just love to do like a palette with someone. I try to like imagine sometimes, I'm like, what kind of shades would I do? And I really don't know. Like I feel like I'd have to be in that moment to decide on that. But I think a dream collab would probably be like ColourPop, just because I love their stuff so much. But there's so many brands that I love that I would be so lucky to do a collab with. I always said like it would be so fun to do like a sponge with someone, just because I love sponges so much. Or even like I know skincare is not really something that a ton of people collab on, but like maybe like a skincare tool or something, because I love skincare. But I would love to do a collab again. I did get to do a collab with Adult Time Beauty, which was so special. I did a brush collection with them. It is no longer available, but that was such a good experience, and I would love to be able to do something like that in the future. 15 is, what other creator do you admire / want to work with? There are so many creators in this space that I admire. Honestly, anyone that's on this space that is creating, I admire, because it takes a lot to do what we do. It takes a lot to put yourself out there. It's not for everyone, or everyone would be doing it. And I do admire so many of my friends here that have continued to thrive and grow and create these empires and brands and all these things for themselves. I think it's incredible. It's so incredible and empowering to watch happen. And then like, I don't know who I would want to collab with or want to like do a video with. I've done some with my friends, but like definitely like in-person collabs. I feel like I would love to do more of those with just some people that I admired, but there's definitely a lot of people that I think are very deserving of everything that they have, and they work really hard to achieve it, and that's people that I admire. Number 16 is, what kind of content do you hate? And I was trying to think about this, like, what do I hate as far as content goes? I feel like drama channels, I'm not really a big fan of those. I do like commentary channels, so anyone that's kind of like watching something and then maybe like telling us their opinion on it, but like drama channels that are just flat out like being mean and nasty, not a fan of. I will say I did get sucked into once upon a time watching them, and I just feel like it's such a negative space. Like it's such a negative space to watch, and like such a negative headspace. So there's just so many other things I'd rather be watching. But aside from like that, I'm trying to think like what content I hate. Kids playing with toys. Adults playing with toys. I think it is such a weird concept. It just like popped in my head only because I have like a 2-year-old, and he loves garbage trucks, and he loves watching garbage trucks on YouTube. And we watched a video the other day by accident. Like I clicked on something. I thought it was just like a garbage truck video, but it wasn't. It was like someone playing with little like garbage trucks. And it was like an adult, and his like hand was just moving around playing with all these garbage trucks and like making sounds and stuff. And I'm like, I think it's the weirdest thing. It is such a weird thing to have like grown adults playing with these kids' toys. It's just very strange to me, and I don't understand it, and I don't particularly like it. So that would be the content that I hate. And then number 17 is, have you ever had a deal Have you ever had to deal with cancel culture, and if so, how? Luckily, I have not had to deal with necessarily any sort of like cancel culture. I definitely don't agree either with cancel culture. I definitely agree with holding people accountable for decisions and things that they have decided to make public. And I definitely think that there's something to be said for holding people accountable 100%. But do I believe in like canceling people? No, I don't think that there should be like everyone running with their pitchforks at people. I don't think that that's the way to get anything done. But no, I have not personally had like a big thing, and I hope that I never will. I do think I am very intentional with what I share, what I don't share. Not that there's anything that I think would get me canceled for not sharing, but I do just try to be mindful of other people's opinions and how other people feel about things before I do share something, just so that we can all, be in a space together, and we can also respect each other's opinions on things as well. So after that is going to do it for this creator tag video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Hopefully you found this entertaining in some way. If you do this tag, hopefully you have fun with it, because it was really fun to do it as well. I will leave the links to the other beautiful ladies down below. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you very soon with a brand new video. Bye.